Hey, what's up? Thekingofkpop here. I want to talk about, you guys remember about a few weeks ago, I mentioned that it was reported that Team B, the trainees of YGE Entertainment, it's rumored that they may come out with their own TV reality program. Well, come and find out, those rumors are now true. It's been confirmed that the TV show that Team B are going to be a part of is going to be called Mix and Match, and it's going to be on Mnet station, Korean station. The interesting thing about the show, kind of similar to one, well, I don't even say similar, but pretty much has the same basis as the show Winner, Who Is Next. This show would be a competition because it won't just be, the 6 members of Team B, but there will also be 3 other YGE Entertainment trainees who will compete, quite possibly for a spot to be in Team B, or the 6 members, whatever this group's name is going to be. So this is very interesting. It wasn't as if these guys weren't already in, I guess you can say, in hot water, or out of the frying pan with the first survival program. They had to go through another survival program with 3 other YG trainees. Tough stuff. Some people, I've heard some people's thoughts on this idea. Some people think it's a little bit cruel and or harsh. Others say, what's the point of having these other 3 YG trainees? One of the representatives who mentioned the show, who talked about the show, said that most likely, if anything, at the end of the show or whatever, if Team B were to debut, there's a possibility, quite possibly, the members won't change. But, when you say possibly, that's a maybe, so it's not a definite or sure answer that the same members that make up Team B will still be intact by the time the show ends or is over with. They may be, if not all 3 member changes, maybe 1 member change, but there may be some type of change. Otherwise, why else would you bring in 3 YG trainees on this show? That's a competition, so to speak. Some people kind of see this as cruel. I can see how they see that. I honestly don't think it's cruel, because I think Team B, because I like them so much, I think they need some tweaking and some working. One thing is for certain, and my criticism may sound harsh, but it's just my opinion, and it's just how I honestly feel. Team B, I felt, always lacked vocally in comparison to Winner, the guys who won the show, Team A, also who's now Winner. I thought they lacked greatly vocally. They're not bad, but they lacked a little bit. They kind of had like a Team Top kind of like vocals or sound vocally. And that's not a bad thing, because I like Team Top. I think Team Top is good, but I'm seeing too many boy bands have that same type of vocal style or sound lately, over the last 2 or 3 years. They have that Team Top Neil type of like voice and singing capabilities. Nothing against them, because that's the way they sing, that's the way they sing. But it's starting to become very prominent now in a lot of K-pop boy bands. I do think when we got to the final of the program win, episode 10, when they did the live performance, Team B, I even mentioned it in my review of the final episode, they improved greatly vocally, when they got to that live performance compared to the other 9 pre-taped episodes. They did improve vocally, but it just wasn't to my status and or perfection, I would say. I honestly don't think it would be a bad thing, and I know some people will probably, these 6 guys are together, they're like brothers, why would you split them up, this and that, da-da-da-da-da. Realistically, some fans kind of have to get out of that little bubble that all these members that are in these companies that form a group are like siblings. Not saying that some of them aren't, but I really, it's a little bit of a fantasy trip that some K-pop fans do think. The only K-pop group that I think that when they say that, hey, we're close like family and it's genuine, is Sonishide. Besides Sonichi Day, I think 2 p.m., I think they're all close with each other and genuine with each other as well, minus the whole Jay Park situation. Even though Jay Park himself said, though, that they don't really keep in contact with him, so he doesn't reach out to them. So I'm just talking about the remaining 6 members of 2 p.m. I think the remaining 6 members of 2 p.m., they are pretty close together, and Sonichi Day themselves. But for a lot of other groups that are out there, it's just like, you know, we're in this because it's a business, and that's that. As a matter of fact, Block B they had a really honest interview. Another reason why I really love Block B, because they just tell it like it is. I think it was Zico or one of the other members that said that they only meet up when it comes to business. You know, that if it's not pertaining to business or whatever, they give each other their own space and they do their own private thing and live their own private lives. But other than that, they only meet up together when it's time for work. And I think that is the most realist thing that you can get from a K-pop group. And I think that is the truth to a lot of K-pop groups, but they always hide it because, you know, they have to put out this image, so to speak, that we're close, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And that's the same thing with Team B. The only members that I would say that are closely knit together as brothers is B.I., Bobby, and I forgot that other kid's name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Those 3 are like close brothers because they were there first as YG trainees. The other 3 that YG took and threw into Team B, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, well, this is going to be a little awkward because, you know, I've known these 2 guys for years. The 3 of us, we've been tight, and then, you know, our boss throws in these other 3 guys and tells us, hey, this is a group. Okay, we can work with you, but that still might not, and we can get along, and we can be cool, but that still does not change the fact that I may be more closer to B.I. and Bobby than I would be these other 3 members that got pushed onto our turf. So I think, you know, from that aspect, you kind of got to get rid of the whole thing. Oh, they're like brothers, and they could be close, they could be knitly and, you know, whatever, but don't expect all these K-pop groups and stuff just because they've trained together for so many years and just, you know, because they've trained together for so long and that they're going to be like, you know, the best of buddies and like blood brothers and blood sisters. Not to say that it won't happen, but I think a lot of fans perceive this to be with every single K-pop group, and it's like, that's not realistic, and it's not the case, because at the end of the day, it's a business. It's a bit of a cutthroat business. I say they cutthroat, but in a way, you know, you do want to you want to stick out a bit. You might want to say, okay, yeah, I'm cool with you, we're good, but, you know, I want to get a little spotlight here more so than you. You know, I want to get recognized too more so than you, kind of like thing. So it's a competition, you know, and you would kind of put yourself a little bit above others, or try to at least, to a degree. That's just the way it is. So I'm not completely against the idea of Team B possibly going through member changes. My only concern with them, if they go through member changes with one of these 3, or maybe all 3 of these other trainees, is the energy, the synergy. You know, because I think what Team B has, what they do have since the 6 have been together, is just that perfect chemistry together, you know, and working together. They have that. And that might be kind of difficult if you bring in 1 or 2 or possibly all 3 of those members to replace whomever in the group, and then kind of like start over from scratch and try to work together again. And that takes longer time for them to debut. Whereas you have these 6 guys who are already together. They have that energy, that connection, and they can debut, you know, as soon as next year, because they don't really need anything else. A few tweaking here and there, but they don't need a complete overhaul. But when you take in somebody new and toss them in there with people that have already been kind of established, it prolongs debut, and it's just all of that. So from that aspect, it'll be kind of tricky. But on the other aspect, I'm a little open-minded to possible member changes. As long as they don't change B.I. and Bobby, I think it's cool, and I think those guys will be fine as is. I don't think YG loves Bobby and B.I., so if anything, he wouldn't change those 2. The other 4, you may mix some things up a little bit with them. So yeah, you guys give me your thoughts. And are you looking forward to the show, Mix and Match? I want your thoughts on this concept of the show and everything. Comment, subscribe. Peace.